haha. Oh, this is the best day ever. We were all just playing, just having the most fun. The sun was shining, the birds were... Well, Parrot was chirping. Everything was perfect. We were playing tag on these super bouncy candy-coloured platforms. It was me, Panda, Parrot and Otter, the dream team. I was it, and I was so close to tagging Panda. So close.
Did you feel that?
It was like the whole world just hiccuped. A giant, wobbly, digital hiccup. For a second, the ground wasn't there. We were all just floating, looking at each other with these huge, confused eyes. It felt like when you miss a step on the stairs, but the stairs are the entire universe. And then just as fast as it happened, poof. We were back on the platform, everything solid again. But something was different, a little bit off. A weird tingle in the air. And then we saw it. A voice, not from any of us, but from everywhere at once. It boomed out, but it sounded like a game show host made of sparkles and electricity. It said, "Every round,
one memory disappears."
One memory disappears? What does that even mean? We all just stared at each other. A memory? Like my memory of breakfast? Or my favorite color? Or what? The air crackled with a strange energy. It wasn't scary. Not yet. It was exciting. A challenge. A game we didn't understand.
Wait, what memory?
Exactly. What memory? Otter was freaking out in a fun way, bouncing on the spot, looking at all of us. Is it a good memory? A bad one? Do we get to choose? So many questions. The world around us started to shift and change. The candy platforms dissolved into pixels, and a whole new arena built itself around us with a series of whooshes and clicks. It was amazing.
This is fine, probably.
Panda, always the calm one, or maybe just the most confused one. While the rest of us were buzzing with a mix of panic and thrill, Panda just sort of accepted it. A little shrug, a slow blink. This is fine, probably. That's Panda for you. But even Panda couldn't hide the little tremble in its paws. This was big. This was new. This was a game. And the rules were simple and terrifying. Win the round. Lose a memory. Ready? Round 1. The voice boomed again, and a huge, glowing round 1 appeared in the air. The arena finished building itself. It was a series of floating jelly tiles, all different colors, wobbling over a sparkly, bottomless void. The goal was on the other side. A big, shiny, golden button. All we had to do was jump across without falling. Simple, right? We looked at each other, a silent agreement passing between us. We were in this together. Let's do it. We were off. Boing, boing, boing. Otter, being so sleek and fast, zipped ahead immediately. Parrot was flying in short, frantic bursts, landing on each tile with a little squawk. Panda was careful. Very, very careful. Each jump was planned, calculated. I was just trying to keep up, laughing the whole time. The jelly tiles wobbled and jiggled under our feet. It was like the universe's most dangerous bouncy castle. Parrot made it first, of course, landed right next to the big golden button and did a little victory dance. Easy peasy, it chirped, puffing out its chest. Otter was right behind, skidding to a halt. Then me. And finally, after one last, very careful jump, Panda landed with a soft thud. We did it. We all made it. We gathered around the button, panting and giggling. We were a team. We won. We all reached out and pressed the button together. A huge, satisfying click echoed through the arena. Confetti made of light exploded everywhere. We were cheering, high-fiving, jumping up and down. We won. Round 1. We were the champions. But then, the feeling came back. That weird, wobbly hiccup feeling. The world flickered. The cheering died in our throats. The air went cold for just a second. A sound like a zipper being unzipped, but inside your brain. Zzz. A little piece of something, a little glowing cube of information, floated up out of each of our heads, shattered into a million pixels, and then vanished. It didn't hurt. It was just empty. A tiny, new, empty space in our minds. We all stood there, blinking. The confetti was gone. The jelly tiles were gone. We were standing in a plain, white space.
What game is this?
Panda was the first to speak. Its voice was quiet, genuinely confused. It looked at the empty space where the jelly tiles had been, then at us. What game is this? And the weirdest thing was, for a second, I didn't know either. I had to think really, really hard. We jumped, right? There were platforms. But what were the rules? Why were we doing it? The memory was fuzzy, like a dream you can barely hold on to. Memory erased. The game itself. The booming voice returned, sounding triumphant, and a little icon that looked like a rulebook appeared in front of us, then shattered into dust. We had forgotten the game we had just played. We remembered winning, the feeling of victory, but the how and why were gone, wiped clean. We just knew we had to keep going. Otter didn't seem to mind. The confusion lasted only a second before the energy came rushing back. Go, go, go! It was already bouncing, ready for the next challenge, whatever it was. That's Otter for you. Always moving forward, no time to worry about what's behind. And that energy was contagious. Okay, so we forgot the last game. Who cares? There's another one coming. The white room around us began to transform again. This time, it was a factory of fun. Conveyor belts moving in every direction, giant foam shapes dropping from the ceiling, and doors that needed two of us to open at the same time. The voice boomed, "Round 2," and we were off again. No questions asked. This was just what we did now. We played the game. "Left," I shouted, pointing at a switch. Panda was next to me, and we had to hit 2 buttons at the same time to open a path for Parrot and Otter. Teamwork. We were a well-oiled machine. We knew each other's moves. I knew Panda would hesitate for a second, so I gave it an extra nod. I knew Parrot would try a risky shortcut. I knew Otter would just charge straight ahead.
Right?
But Parrot didn't take the path we opened. It veered off in the completely opposite direction, calling back, "Right?" It was heading for a dead end. It was a simple mistake, but a weird one. Parrot never gets left and right mixed up. We managed to finish the round anyway, with a lot of frantic shouting and last-second saves. We hit the final button, and the confetti and the cheers came again. And then... zit. Another memory vanished. Another little empty spot. We were back in the white room. We looked at each other. The thrill of victory faded, replaced by a quiet, creeping confusion. Something felt different again. I looked at Panda, at Parrot, at Otter. These were my friends, my best friends. I'd known them forever, right?
Who is your friend?
Otter, my brave, energetic friend, was looking at Parrot, but its expression wasn't brave. It was small, timid. It pointed a hesitant paw. Who is your friend? It was asking me. About Parrot. My heart did a funny little flip-flop. What kind of question was that? That's Parrot. We've been friends for... How long have we been friends?
We just met?
Panda, looking between all of us, offered a suggestion, but it sounded like a question. We just met? The memory of our friendship, the long, sunny days of playing tag, the secret handshakes, the inside jokes, it was gone. Not completely, but it was thin, faded, like a photograph left out in the sun for too long. We were strangers who felt like they should be friends. We knew we were a team, but we didn't know why. Okay, focus, I told myself. I told everyone. It doesn't matter. We're here, we're together, that's what's important. We can make new memories, right? We just have to keep playing, keep winning. The alternative, falling into that sparkly void, that seemed much worse, so we had to focus. Round 3 was starting. This round was even harder. Rotating tubes we had to run through like log rollers, and giant slingshots made of sticky bubblegum that launched us across huge gaps. It was chaotic and wild, and we were all laughing again, the confusion forgotten for a moment. We were working together instinctively. Even if we didn't remember being friends, our bodies did. We moved like a team. We won. Of course we won. We were good at this. The button was pressed, the confetti flew, and then... zzzt! The deepest zap yet. This one felt personal. It felt like it took something important, something core. We stood in the white room, the silence heavier than before.
My name is...
Parrot was tapping its own head, its beak opening and closing, but no sound came out at first. My name is... It looked at us, its eyes wide with a new kind of panic. It couldn't remember its own name. I forgot my own name. I tried to say my name, to help it remember, but the space in my head where my name should be was just a blank. A smooth, empty, white wall. I had forgotten my own name. I looked at Panda, at Otter. They were pointing at themselves, their mouths open in silent shock. We had all forgotten. We were 4 nameless beings in a white room, playing a game we didn't understand, for stakes we couldn't remember.
Stay together!
The one who used to be Otter spoke, its voice shaking but firm. Stay together. It pushed us into a little huddle, and that felt right. That felt true. We didn't have names. We barely had memories, but we had each other. We were a team. That was the one thing the game hadn't taken from us yet, the feeling of us. Round after round we played. We forgot how to play. We forgot left from right. We forgot what winning felt like, even as we did it. Each victory was followed by that sickening zizzit, and another piece of us would vanish into the digital air. We kept going out of pure instinct, a frantic, joyful momentum that defied the emptiness growing inside us. But then, in a quiet moment between the chaos, the one who was a panda looked at me. Its eyes were huge and dark and full of a question it didn't know how to ask. The game was getting harder. We were losing players in the rounds now. One by one they would fall into the sparkly void, only to reappear in the white room at the end, looking even more lost than before. The stakes were getting higher, and a new, terrifying thought began to form.
If we win, we forget everything?
The question hung in the air. If we keep winning, we keep losing memories. If we play enough rounds, if we get to the very end, what's left to lose? The game itself, our friends, our names. What comes after that? Everything. The word wasn't spoken, it was just known. The final prize for winning the final round was to lose it all, to have your mind wiped completely clean, to become a blank slate, and in that moment, only one of us was left. Me. I was in the final arena, a massive, towering kaleidoscope of light and color. The final button was right in front of me. I won? I pressed it. There was no confetti, no cheering, just a great silent flash of white light. And then, nothing. I stood there, in the quiet. I felt good, I think. A word floated into my head. Won. I won. What is win? The word meant nothing to me. It was just a sound. I looked at my paws. I looked at the empty space around me. I felt a strange echo of an emotion. Happiness? Pride? I didn't know. I was a winner with no memory of the contest.
Would you play?
Tap to choose.